It is I, Dick Thunderlips, and welcome to the DTF report for Week 3 for your Heroes of Fantasy League. That's right, the Dick Thunderlips Fantasy Report is here for Week 3 to recap all the action from around the league. Now let's take a gander and hop right in. The bunny hopped right in to Week 3, folks. We're going to see Danny Thunder here. A little sorry about your damn luck taking on Tyree's team. Tyree split from Adrian for the first time ever, folks. He'll name this team later. Maybe he should name it I Miss Adrian. I Miss Daddy. Because now he's 2-1 after taking the L to Mr. Danny Boy. Let's take a gander at what happened here, folks. On the Sorry About Your Damn Luck team name, which probably changed his team name by now. You'll see Aaron Rodgers still thinking he's vintage with 24. Can't keep up with the top cornerbacks, but he's no slouch. Meanwhile, you'll see a 44 shit on the chest of Tyree right here from Alvin Kamehameha, right to his groinal area. David Johnson still a piece of trash. Cooper Kupp, remembering that he's supposed to do stuff, but in reality, all he did was steal the juice of Julian Edelman. And together, I mean, they were mediocre, folks. Let's be honest here, not a lot to hoot and holler about other than the Colts' 27 points, because they had like 2 touchdowns. I don't even know what's happening, other than they played some crappy Jets team. Meanwhile, 21 on the bench from Jeff Wilson, free agency gold, although it might be fluky and maybe only 1 week. There it goes, folks, sitting on the bench. Not much else to hoot about there, but you'll take a look at the Tyree team. A disappointing, so disappointing Lamar Jackson performance. Not sure what happened there. Not much ado for these running backs. You know it's bad when you're playing Cordell Patterson. What's going on here, folks? Tyree didn't get the memo that he needs running backs, I guess. That and Rasheem Mostert is in his IR, but dude, Jeff Wilson, right? He's right there. He's right. He's right there, folks. You see, why weren't you bidding on Jeff Wilson, Mr. Tyree? So the dude here, it wouldn't matter. Danny still whooped his ass. But let's see here. Amari Cooper disappointing. Marvin Jones. You don't like to see that, but Michael Gallup deploying Kamari Cooper and Michael Gallup, always dangerous. Gallup coming through, and the Patriots D doing some damage. But Tyree's got some work to do, folks. He's got some points on the bench. He's got little contributions here and there, but you know what? Overall, I can't poop on him too much. 113 is semi-respectable, but hey, if you're gonna play with the big boys, you gotta do better than that, Jack. Moving right along, you see here we got from the midnight sun, Matt Segovia's team dropping to 0-3. Only dropping a buck .84 to CJ's going off buck 52. Baby, now let's take a look here, Matt, the hard luck loser. I mean, he only scored a hundy, but still, you don't want to go up against 1,000,000 points either. Derek Carr has a pulse. Kenyon Drake, looking like the trash heap he is, folks. Let's be honest. Meanwhile, Austin Eckler had 1,000 catches and like a touchdown or two. I don't even know what's happening. 31 points. Chris Godwin, 17 points before he tore his leg apart. Jarvis Landry with 7. Jordan Reed, disappointing follow-up performance. Nickel, I don't know what's going on. This guy's playing like third receivers. Cardinals defense 4 points, but you know Jared Goff dropping 27 on the bench. You don't like to see that, folks. But not much else popping. Matty S got some work to do here, folks. Meanwhile, C Jizzle, Kyler Murray going off for AZ. Singletary still doing the dirty. David Montgomery back to being a piece of poop. That's expected. D Hop, man, Houston wishes they had him back, boy. DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray pairing might carry C Jizzle a long way, folks. We'll see. Robert Woods, meanwhile, having a pulse. That's probably because Goff had a big day, finally. And 30 points from CJ's love of his life, Keenan Allen, finally showing up. And Tyler Boyd. CJ playing the Bears defense against Hotlanta. Not sure what he was thinking there, but that's fine. But hey, 16 on the bench from an RB. That's gotta hurt when you see a team like Tyree playing Cordell Patterson. Anywho, see Jizzle looking good. Matt's got some work to do, boy, or he's gonna be paying to ship that belt, Jack. Anywho, touchdowns my way. Rick Heron going back to 2-1 with the dub. over home improvement, Jay Sex's team. Hey, Jay Sizzle, he's got the belt. The fire's gone. He's obviously complacent now, happy with being the dregs of the league, happy with being a piece of trash. Only scoring a $103, going to 0-3. Him and Matt Segovia can battle for most inept team, folks. But at least Jay Sex has the belt right now. Matty Ice dropping 11 only, but James Robinson, the story of the week, folks, with 30 points on a breakout performance as expected, and another soft, juicy, plump matchup next week. He's going to score again pretty well. 21 from Tyreek Hill, 26 from Allen Robinson, thinking he's a legit receiver when Nicky Foles went in, baby. Only 9 points from Noah. I can't even talk, Noah Fant. Your name is terrible. Darrell Henderson Jr., meanwhile, 19. Some free agency pickups doing some van damage for Ricky G. As we look at the bench, Devontae Adams was hurt. Tevin Coleman hurt. He's holding on to some gems here. He had Devonta Freeman. Some bright waters ahead as Ricky G goes to 2-1 and has lots of gems on the bench. Just lots of little gems. He's shining, ready to become diamonds, folks. If you're looking for a trade with this man. Look at that. Dude, you're playing Cornell Patterson at RB. Matt Segovia scoring 100 points. This guy's got RBs on your bench that make you look like $1 million. Or at least might score 2 and make you feel better. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow still thinking he's a QB at 20 points. Kareem Hunt with 4. I don't know how J-Sex is getting points out of Kareem Hunt. That's fine. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, a little disappointing still. Kenny Galladay came back to a sweet 17 party. Stephon Diggs, meanwhile, 14 points. 10 for Hunter Henry. Disappointing Dallas Goedert day. I think he got hurt, folks. Not quite sure. I don't follow random tight end life. DJ Chark still hurt on the bench. Thomas Reginald Brady dropping 20. Michael Thomas hurt. And you gotta love seeing empty bench spots. That's when you know you're not managing and you're just on autopilot. J-Sex calling your ass out right now as the autopilot of the year. Get in gear and stop looking at that belt. This is disappointing, Jay Sizzle. What a joke. Even your baby blues won't save you from that. Meanwhile, you'll see here Alfredo picking up a little bit of the luck. Only scoring a $106, but he picked the right time because his opponent laid a massive turn, folks. 95 points only for Adrian. And you know who's missing the other half more? Tyree's at least 2-1, folks, with a respectable-ish team. Adrian's looking a little lost here. Maybe 1-2, not looking good. Although I will admit, let's take a look at Adrian's side first. His team is actually better than Tyree's, I think. It's tough. Ben Roethlisberger with a pulse. Joe Mixon at least putting some points on the board along with Todd Gurley. DJ Moore, massive disappointing day. Scary Terry, mediocre. Darren Waller, a no-show. James Conner acting like the Terminator again. Deshaun Watson, like it's 2001, except it's not. That's the 2021 Deshaun. He's trash. Anyway, a point for the Saints D and a couple pulses on the bench. I just don't know what's going on over here, folks. Adrian's got. If Adrian and Tyree combine teams, they'd be great. That's really interesting, huh? Anyway, Mr. Adrian, he needs to pick up the pace, folks. But on the other side, Freddie got Dak Prescott dropping 27 like the dude needs, 27 mil a year. That KC rookie running back still dropping some dimes with 18. Mike Davis earning every cent of that free agent buck. Freddie spent a fortune on that man, and boy did he get dividends, folks. 23 points, which is enough that got him over the hill to get this dub in the first place, and that's how you do it when you make moves, J-Sex. That's how you do it, Mr. Tyree. You pick up the dudes to get in there, to get you the points when you need it. You spend those free agency bucks, and you do those claims, and you get the dubs. Because look what's going on here. Juice dropping 16, and you don't like when you see the goose eggs down here. 0.9, a 0, a 3, a 5, but he got it done anyway because every point matters, and that free agency gold of Mike Davis got it over the top. 12 points from Ryan Tannehill, 19 from Randall Corn on the Cobb. Might get him in there next week, folks. Freddie doing the damage, making the moves. That's what you like to see. He earned that 2-1 despite his team looking kind of questionable like trash. Boy, oh boy, did he drop a $1.06 for that dub. That's what you like to see, folks. And here a slugfest of ineptitude, folks. Let's be honest, Steven Naramore sneaking a win with a $1.16 against them Gronk Pirates, although slipping to 0-3 with only 111 scored. Again, folks, it's all about those matchups, the right place, the right time. Steven Naramore likes what he sees from Josh Allen, dropping 31 points, folks. But Josh Jacobs, a disappointing performance. Aaron Jones, still good. Will Fuller, still good. A couple weird dudes in here. I don't even know who this guy is, folks. 5 points. Mark Ingram, disappointing day with only 3. I mean, you don't like some of this. You think they're gonna turn around. Not much to do on the bench either. But Naramore's got overall. I mean, it's okay. It's all right. He's 3-0 though. Can't burn seat, folks. He just got to make some moves, get in there. Meanwhile, Aldo, I don't know what's going on, other than Le'Veon Bell's trash. He's out for the year or something. He's not out for the year, but let's be honest here. He's out for the year. Deshaun Watson, mediocre 17. That's not what Aldo paid for. Derrick Henry, though, back to form. Nick Chubb, giving Aldo a chub. If the rest of his team could just do a little better, you know what I mean? AJ Green still a disappointment, Aldo living in 2004. CeeDee Lamb, Dallas's 97th receiver, somehow got 11. TJ Hawkinsauce with 9. You don't like what you see from the rest of the squad. You got Devontae Parker on the bench, and let's be honest, Justin Jefferson with a massive breakout performance on Aldo's bench. Aldo believed enough to have him on the team. I don't even know who this Jamoke is. But now, if Aldo maybe, manage better, man. I don't know what to tell you. You got 30, you're dropping 30 on your bench. I mean, I don't even know who CeeDee Lamb is. You got Devontae Parker on your bench. Let's talk about that, Jack. Talk about what would have, let's be fair. It wouldn't have got you the win because CeeDee Lamb had a pulse compared to AJ Green. But boy, oh boy, disappointing day for Hollywood Brown. I mean, I cut Aldo a little bit of slack. His team's not that bad. It's not 0-3 bad. But the boys got to get the guns in there when it's time to put on the show. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, Crystal, Jesus in heaven in a baby basket, a $1.67, shitting all over the professor. His solid outing of 123 would have been good enough for a dub against over half the league this week. But not Crystal. And fantasy football is all about the matchups, and this wasn't a good one. Crystal with $1.67. You gotta love what you're seeing from Russell Wilson with 36. Dalvin Cook still doing the deuce. And you know what gets you to that high score? Everyone putting into the teens with a couple whore outs, and that's exactly what she had. A 14, a 16, a 10, a 19, a 16, and an 18 from the D. Jerick McKinnon showing that he's going to be the man in San Fran. DK Metcalf with a little outlier, a great game for Seattle. Robbie Anderson still with the pulse. Calvin Ridley still alive for ATL. And the bench, not much. Hold on. Not much going on the bench. Dick need a little sippy sip, you know what I mean? Anywho, Crystal's still looking good though. And meanwhile, Oscar's team, not a slouch. You like that Drew Brees renaissance. He looked a bit like Mitch Trubisky last week. But, folks, he cleaned it up this week. 10 points for Carson. You don't like to see that. And just disappointing play from these RBs. Odell Beckham back. Mr. Inconsistency. This dude obviously tries to catch every ball with one hand. It's a little maddening, honestly. Mike Evans, though, meanwhile, dude had like 2 TDs and 2 catches. I don't know what's going on. But Tyler Lockett tried to lock it up for Oscar. Fournette with only 4. I mean, Oscar's got some dudes on the bench. There's some things to be had here. But just a tough week, tough matchup. You don't like to see that. But Oscar's gonna stay in there, keep on clawing his way for those dubs. And meanwhile, let's take a look at a team trying to claw. We talked about this. 2 0-3s facing off, folks. A huge pivotal week to see who's going to go to the shit house or who's going to start to climb back up this ladder. And surprisingly enough, Zach put all his juju into the baseball season, only to come up short, sorry. And then now, meanwhile, only scoring 65 this week. Folks, I think some players might have scored 65 this week. I mean, I know 2 combined definitely did. Honestly, Zachary, we're gonna have to drill in there. Dick's gonna have to get in there. and push his way in. Dixon have to just force his way in, get in there hard and fast, and find out what happened here, folks. Gardner Minshew, 9 points. Zeke was 17. Zeke's got to eat. But boy, he's eating for the rest of the team too. He's got to score like 117 for Zach to have a chance here. Ronald Jones with 9 was disappointing. T.Y. Hilton 8, disappointing. Larry Fitzgerald may as well retire if he's putting up a buck. 5.1 for the Jets tight end Herndon. Laviska Shenault Jr. with a yeah. So it's not a good day if Jacksonville's quarterback's getting 9 points. So those receivers probably not doing much. And Dion Lewis, massive disappointment. Zach did what he could. Let's be honest. He put out the bucks. He got a free agency pickup. It was just the wrong one of all the possible choices, folks. Only 2 points. The Chargers D not helping. And you don't like it when you've got Jimmy Graham Tam dropping 24. This random San Fran receiver dropping 21. And, Carson Wentz with 21. Zacharoo. And, let's be honest. ESPN analyst shit the bed this week. Because if you were like Zacharoo, you might have seen a little video where they tried to be like, oh, Gardner Minshew's probably a safer play than Deshaun Watson this week. Yeah, tell that to Zach as he drops 65. Because apparently Miami is no joke on defense. Or I don't know I don't know what's going on here. They beat Jacksonville 31-13. Jacksonville got beat so bad they wish they had Blake Bortles back. Let's be honest. Meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes dropping 40, earning every cent of that obnoxious price Al paid. Rex Burkhead 34, giving that good Rex Burkhead love getting in there. J.D. McKissick, I don't know, Zach, oh God, L's team is fucking terrible, and yet he picked up the dub mainly due to these juicy horror performances. Curtis Samuel, Mo Alley Cox dropping 14, Amendola, Sing Me a Song, Danny Boy, 2.8, and Traquan Smith, disappointing 8 after being projected to be dropping the juice everywhere. He didn't do much. I mean, let's be honest. L did what he could. He's dealing with lots of injuries. C-Max sitting on his injured reserve. Kittle out too. You're not going to really rely on Sammy Watkins or Eric Ebron every week. And, L had a couple more points he could have got in there. But let's be honest. The dude dropped $130 with this poop squad. But that's why when you dump your cash into dudes like Mahomes, it's a valid strat. Sadly, he also dumped his bucks into the guy in his injured reserve. But just imagine if Al's team was healthy, these superstars can win you the week at any given moment, and that's why they're worth the big kahuna bucks. So Al, as much as I'm gonna poop on your team, you did it this week, pal. You did the duty. You dropped the $130. You spanked Zach as he dropped 65. Oh man, boy, oh boy. Anywho, so Al with a little redemption going to 1 and 2. Let's take a look at the league standaroos, if I could find it. Oh, standings is its own button. I don't get paid to navigate around here. This is a joke. Where's my assistant? Anywho, you'll see here, Crystal still holding on to first place because she's been scoring a bajillion points. Danny Boy in third, C. Jizzle in fourth, Stephen Naramore in fourth, CJ in third. A tight race here. 4 undefeated teams still, folks, and a glut of 2 and 1s. Glut meaning 3 apparently. Some 1 and 2s and a surprising number of 0 and 3s, folks. Here, 4 of them. It's still anybody's ball game. It's football is a short year, but it's not too late to turn it around, pull off a trade, make those pickups. You've already seen some pickups win the week for some folks, and you've seen some pickups that missed, let's be honest. The highest scoring team still Crystal with 471. Danny Boy right behind, along with C. Jizzle. You look what you're seeing from Ricky G. 430 is a great score, but let's sort it that way. And you like what you're seeing from the professor. And Al, as much as his team's been struggling, the dude's still scoring pretty well overall. So there's still hope in those hills. Meanwhile, if we flip the status, you're gonna see that Oddly enough, some low scores against teams like Freddie, CJ, and I believe this is I don't even know whose team this is. Ricky G's team, maybe. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, the people getting shit on the most here is Jay Sizzle getting shit on the most. But let's be honest, folks, he's not doing much to help the other side. And so is Matt Segovia. This is kind of how it goes. And Ricky G just getting absolutely shit on along with the professor and Aldo. And that's how fantasy football goes, folks. You gotta fight through the shit. And frankly, if at the end of the year your points against is at the higher end, it's real tough to get in there and make a difference and make those playoffs. But chin up, folks. Make those moves. Go into week 4 strong and fast. Hard and fast, just like Dick likes it. And when you can't quite get in there, you just gotta force it through sometimes. And get those trades in. Make some more claims every week. There's at least a couple gems out there for you to throw your bucks at. Freddie spent a lot of his, so maybe you should spend a lot of yours. Maybe buy a dub, folks, because every win matters when the belt's on the line. And boy, oh boy, Jay Sizzle watching that belt slip away with every ticking week, folks. But you know what? For now, that's it. Dick's out, folks.